Hello, it's Professor T, and I'm here to read you a story. You might notice the light is very different. That's because it's nighttime. I've never made a videotape at night, and you will see that I have an overhead light here, which makes the room sort of yellowish. So let's see how this goes. Today I have a book called The Long and Short of It, which I think you're going to like. And I chose this book because I spoke again with your art teachers, Miss Ford from School 21, Miss McCourt from Panther and Harp Academies in Patterson, and Miss Kaminsky from Don Bosco Technical Academy. And we all talked together about the type of idea that might interest you to listen to a story about and to make art about. So this week I'm going to read you this story, and then tomorrow I'll make a videotape about art making based on this story. So what I want you to notice as you look at this book is the different ways that animals look, okay? I'll stop at the end and go through it again because I just like to read straight through at first, but please notice The Long and Short of It by Cheryl Nathan and Lisa McCourt, illustrated by Cheryl Nathan. No two animals are alike. Some have long parts and some have short parts, but their differences are what makes them special. Take the ring-tailed lemur, for instance. Its tail is longer than a skateboard, but a Boston Terrier's tail is shorter than half a used black crayon. And who can grow its beak longer than a banana? A toucan can. A chicken has a beak too, but guess what? Its beak is as short as a grape. An elephant's trunk can grow longer than a car trunk, even longer than some whole cars. But I bet you don't know about the other animal that has a trunk. It's the tiny elephant, shrew, with a trunk as short as a broken toothpick. Broken toothpick? That's short. A giraffe makes a good friend because it'll really stick its neck out for you, and its neck is as long as your bedroom door. Zebras' necks are shorter than chair legs. Can you imagine having fingers as long as hot dogs? Well, orangutans do. But the giant panda's little fingers are shorter than yo-yos. Reindeer have long antlers longer than your arms, stretched out as wide as you can stretch them. Mountain goats' horns are as short as carrots. Could you fit an aardvark's snout in your lunchbox? Nope, too long, and why would you want to anyway? A pig's snout would fit. It's shorter than your thermos. Hippos are big, but their ears are little, about as short as ping pong balls. Hares are little animals with long ears, almost as long as tissue boxes. feathers are as long as jump ropes, but not as much fun to play with. The feathers on top of a cockatiel's head are as short as inchworms. The longest hair a person ever grew was almost 14 feet. Wow, as long as a seesaw. The little hairs on the top of a mangabey monkey's head are shorter than the bristles on your toothbrushes. If you dance with a kangaroo, don't let it step on your toes. Kangaroo feet are longer than whole watermelons. Your foot is probably shorter than a carton of milk. If you lived in prehistoric days, you'll have seen huge woolly mammoths running through your backyard. Their tusks were as long as playground slides and even more curvy. Some walrus tusks are as short as drinking straws. Don't stick your tongue out at a chameleon. Its tongue is as long as its whole body, and that's longer than a fire hydrant. A raccoon's little tongue is as short as a stick of gum. And don't tell secrets to a crocodile. What a big mouth. Its toothy grin is longer than your pillow. But this bottlenose dolphin's mouth is as short as a pencil. If you look for them, you'll find long parts and short parts everywhere. And that's the long and short of it. That's the long and short of it. The end. So I hope you enjoyed this book. Have you ever seen measurements using objects? Like a Boston Terrier's tail is shorter than a half-used black crayon. That's a funny way to think about the length, right? Half a used black crayon. Usually, we would use a ruler and measure, right? We might say it's 2 inches long or 3 inches long. But this book is using objects that you know to give you the measurement. How about this one? Its beak. The chicken has a beak as short as a grape. So you know how big a grape is, right? Here's the beak of the chicken. Is that big or small? Is a grape big or small? Small, right? Maybe around 1 inch, a long grape. And what about the part, this was the grape part, your foot. Is your foot probably shorter than a carton of milk? I don't know, because do they mean a small carton of milk or a big carton of milk? I'm looking at my foot right now, and my foot, it's about 10 inches long. Is that shorter than a carton of milk? I don't think so. But a child's foot, your foot's smaller. So if it was maybe up to here to 6 inches long, would your foot be smaller than a carton of milk? Probably. And why are we thinking so much about long and short? It's not only a math problem, it's a problem for people who draw and who make art. For example, if you want to make a walrus, you need to know how long his whiskers are, right? What does it say here? Some walrus tusks are as short as drinking straws. Oh, that's the tusk, not the whiskers. But let's say you want to draw the tusk. So if you were drawing, then you might be thinking of the length of a drinking straw if you were drawing the walrus full size. Often artists, we shrink things on paper, right? But if you were drawing a full walrus, how long is a drinking straw? Maybe about like this. That would be his tusk or her tusk. For our art lesson tomorrow, I want you to already think about an animal you can draw. Could be a very simple animal that you've seen around the house, like your cat or maybe your dog. Some people have bunny rabbits for pets. Some people have snakes for pets. You already know what my pet is, a turtle, right? I could draw my turtle. I think I already drew my turtle. But think about what animal you want to draw and think about what are the long parts and what are the short parts. Is the head longer than the feet? Is the head smaller than the torso? This part of the stomach? Torso is like everything from the neck down to the hips. A torso is really a human word, but how long is a cat tail? If you're drawing your cat's tail, is the cat tail longer than the cat's feet? I don't know. So I'm sending you on a little mission to observe an animal and get ready to draw it. And tomorrow we will do a very interesting art activity with it. Okay? Bye-bye. See you next time.